Welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, where each week we're joined by leaders of Guaranteed Irish member businesses to chat about how they sustain jobs, communities and provenance. Supported by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support, it's what we do.
Hello and welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast. Hi there, I'm Breed O'Connell and joining me today is Barry Kerrigan, owner of Kerrigan's Craft Butchers, Ireland's best online butcher, delivering quality guaranteed Irish meat nationwide to discuss their sustainably sourced meat, the benefits of selling online and their foods for fitness. Now Barry, you're very welcome. That's a long introduction.
That was a beautiful introduction. I would take that. Thank you.
Delighted to have you here. You're based in Dublin, but you serve nationwide, and you're now employing 40 people.
Correct, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
A big role in 40 households, paying 40 mortgages.
Very true.
Well done. Tell us all about the business and how did you set up and how long have you been in business, I suppose?
Yes, this is actually an interesting year for us. So we celebrate 50 years in business this year. So my dad, Brendan, started the business in September in 1973. So we're gearing up for 50 years in business. I came along in 1993, so whatever amount of years that is. I
20 years later.
And my brother Shane is also heavily involved in the business, so we run the business together. I kind of take care of certain aspects, and Shane would take care of other aspects of the business. And so 50 years this year.
Brilliant.
We're going strong, thankfully.
Okay, so what I like about Kerrigan's is it's always innovating. There's always something new happening. You're always trying something new. And I think the general consumer respond to that really well. You're selling meat online. That wasn't always a thing. How did that come about and how's that going for you?
Yeah, it wasn't always a thing. It wasn't on our 5-year roadmap per se. That came out through the Foods for Fitness. So back in 2013, I became a father and I kind of changed my own lifestyle. I got really into fitness and health and, how to be the best version of yourself, I suppose. And that obviously involves nutrition, and having good nutrition is very important. So I developed a range of products within the store. So lean, protein, tasty. So simple things like literally getting chicken fillets, butterfly them open, and putting some nice seasoning, put them in a tray that people can cook in the oven. Very, very simple, but also then backing that up with giving people the information that they wanted for their protein, their carbohydrates, so they could work out what sort of protein levels they wanted to consume on a daily basis to meet their needs. And that kind of rolled then into a range of 50 products.
Yeah, so that's called the Foods for Fitness range.
Yeah, our Foods for Fitness.
And there's a big uptake on that, isn't there? Particularly around the meat space and protein.
Yeah, massive. Back in 2013 when I launched it in the shop, nobody else really kind of in the butchery industry was doing it. So it's kind of first to market, giving people a choice for healthy, lean, tasty protein. And as I said, we started off with like a simple chicken fillet, and that developed into a range of turkey burgers, which would have a slightly higher level of protein than chicken would. And then we went into what we call our Fakeout range or Fakeaway range. So trying to take that classic takeaway meal and give it a healthy twist. So on a Friday night, you can have a little treat, but you're not consuming too many calories. So yeah, it really took off well.
And I'd imagine during COVID, that must have been massive for you.
Yes, COVID is still a really, really strong memory in my own head. I remember March the 20th, whatever it was, when the announcement came on the radio to shut down the schools, and people just came into the shop and just absolutely cleaned their shelves. That led into an incredible few weeks of weather.
That's right.
Yeah, it was barbecues everywhere. People were working from home.
That's right.
So we were literally opened the doors at 8 a.m. and by 6 p.m. we just couldn't catch a breath.
Yeah.
We were an essential business, and COVID, thankfully for our business, was quite good for us.
So I suppose COVID made people think differently about how they eat, and it became, of course, going to the butchers or the supermarket became a social outlet. But people started really putting time into their food and food choices. And I'd imagine for somebody who was ready, and for people who had the Foods for Fitness range, that was really relevant, and all of a sudden you became a go-to destination. Yeah,
and that's like one demographic of our customers, but we're very lucky that we have other demographics. So our Foods for Fitness appeals to a certain type of customer that we have, and then other customers who are working from home around that time, they'd be taking cookbooks off maybe the cupboards they hadn't looked at in years, and they'd be bringing books into us, and they'd be asking us to, can you source some beef cheek for us, or short ribs or beef, or the cuts they couldn't maybe get readily in the supermarkets. So it was definitely a case where people were going back to cooking, maybe the old traditional kind of recipes.
And I think there's an element of people wanting to be educated as well, which Kerrigans do very well.
Yeah, we're a team of very passionate cooks. We're not chefs. We're never been professionally kind of trained chefs, but the conversation in the shop between myself and all the team members will be around food and what did you cook the weekend, and we're always kind of sharing recipes, and even with our customers, we're always trying to learn from our customers. They might teach us a thing or two about cooking, or we can pass on some information to them.
Okay, so what makes Kerrigans totally different to traditional butchers that are out there at the moment?
I wouldn't say we are totally different to traditional butchers. I suppose what we try to do in our butcher community is have a strong community of butchers. That doesn't matter where you are in the country, you support your local butcher. We're always trying to say that, butchers together, good butchers together, it makes us all stronger. So we can all be stronger against the supermarkets. That's where, our daily kind of work is trying to keep as many people as we can into the local butcher shop, supporting those small artisan producers, and trying to, I know things can be tight for people at the moment, but if they could, or even, people might be time poor, but if they can give time to go to the local butchers, ideally Kerrigans, but if it's not Kerrigans, your butchers in all the villages around Ireland.
Yeah,
need
the real
support.
community touch point, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course it's fresh, you have the lamb in season, you have the different pieces coming through, and it's so important, I suppose, to keep eating and sourcing in season food as well, because it makes such a difference to the taste.
Difference. But even look at like some of the supermarkets now, they're taking all their butchers out of the shops. So it's literally, if you're going in now, if you're looking for any sort of help, it's unlikely that you'll meet someone that has some expertise in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Literally, you're going to the shelf, you're picking your stuff.
And it is a craft, it is a trade, it is something we want to hold on to and look after. And it's a connection as well to the farm. It's a connection to the farmers, the producers, etc. in terms of that. So in terms of sourcing all your own food, tell us a little bit about that. Yeah,
that's something I really enjoy doing. So over the years now, we've a network, I suppose, of maybe 20 or 30 really good artisan producers, from beef producers, lamb producers.
All Irish.
Yeah. All Irish, thankfully. That's something we're really passionate about, was keeping our food miles as low as we can, making sure it's Irish, because we have such amazing food and drink in this country.
And the quality of it, so good. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And like I'm often, amazed. Like in Malahide, we're one of our shops, and I would spend a bit of time myself in the Malahide shop, and people, Malahide's a big touristy area, and we'd get loads of people in over the tourist season, meet Americans or French, and they're just blown away by how lucky, maybe Irish people take it for granted.
Yeah, sometimes I think when you travel a little bit, you realise how good the food is in Ireland. It's really strong, and we do punch above our weight. I'm really keen to talk to you about the Fakeout range, because I think that was a really good introduction in terms of winning us off the takeaway. Well, everybody loves a takeaway now and again. A takeaway once or twice a week is bad news for everybody's heart. So talk to us about the Fakeout range, and of course it's so much more cost effective. Yeah,
that's what it boils down to, because we know takeaway is expensive, and I've been there myself, and the Friday night, I'm not too sure, nobody wants to cook, we're all tired. But if you had a Fakeaway, and the Fakeaways can be simple things like, our most popular one would be a Thai beef Asian style with noodles. And that could be enough for 2 people. We have Kung Pao chicken. We have...
I'm getting hungry now, Barry. Go on.
We have a twist on a chicken spice box. So there's loads of different options. And again, it's cost effective. It's good quality food. And it's, it's definitely going to save you some euros.
Okay. So it's all very nice now talking about the quality of the food and everything. It's barbecue season. Sun is shining. Give us a few tips for barbecues for people out there, whether they buy off you, Barry Kerrigan of Kerrigan Butchers around Dublin, or... indeed they buy from other local butchers.
Yes.
Give us the best tips for an easy barbecue for somebody who mightn't be too good.
Yes, the number one tip is to simply, and this is the tip that I give to every single customer that asks that question, is just buy yourself a good quality probe.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay.
Good quality probe.
Make sure everything is done.
Takes all the guesswork out of it. Takes you going, I'm not too sure if that's cooked, and I'm going to keep on cooking that for another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's maybe overdone.
Right.
So buy yourself a good quality probe, have a little logbook beside you,
Yeah.
and just keep track of your
How long you putting
temperatures.
things on?
And
Yeah.
that's the best tip I can give anybody
Brilliant.
barbecuing.
Okay, great. So then, now I've got my probe.
Yes.
I've got my friends coming over. I'm expecting 10 or 12 people. What am I
Yes.
going to feed them? And make it easy now, Barry.
10 or 12 people for the barbecue. I suppose the easiest thing I would do would be something like a butterfly leg of lamb.
Yeah.
So a whole leg of lamb would feed 10 people.
Really? Would you do that on the barbecue?
Yeah. Butterfly it open, and we can pre-marinate it for you.
Great.
And what a lot of people do is might start in the oven,
Yeah.
get it to a certain temperature, maybe
Yeah.
40 degrees,
Yeah.
and then just char it on the barbecue just to give that kind of...
How long would that take?
Altogether, you're looking about maybe 60 minutes.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay.
it depends on the temperature.
And nice and tender off the barbecue.
Well, it's spring lamb season.
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the traditional steaks then. What do you tend to marinate those in, and how long would you give them on a barbecue? A lot of people fry them too much. They're overburnt.
Yeah, I suppose steaks, they don't need an awful lot of marinade. You really want to taste that beef.
Mm.
But if you do want to do something to the steak to kind of guarantee, it's going to be extra tender, something like a bit of red wine vinegar. That'll
Lovely.
break down the fibres. I recommend ribeye steak for the barbecue. Has a nice bit of marbling going through it. That keeps it nice and moist. And
Flavour.
it's also good for if somebody likes their meat well done. If it has that bit of marbling, it's still going to be nice and flavoursome.
Delicious.
Where the fillet steak, I think if somebody likes it well done, it can be a little bit dry.
Yeah, that's
fillet
right.
steak has to be cooked medium rare.
And what about the kids then, flipping the burgers and things like that? How long does a burger take really on a well-heated barbecue?
Yeah. So the craze at the moment now is the smash burger.
Okay, so what's that?
So smash burger is basically, we make the burgers to about 90 grams, kind of a meatball shape, and you press it down.
Yeah.
We actually sell the burger presses as well. It's on our website. But basically what you want to do is you want to get the burger as thin as possible on the barbecue. So using not the grids on the barbecue, some sort of a plate.
Right.
And you're pushing the burgers down to create a big circumference, and you want to get the crust. So it's literally pushing the burger down, spreading out the burger. The burger meat itself gets a nice crust. You flip it over. It takes about 90 seconds.
Oh wow, fabulous.
So you're getting a lovely crust on the outside.
Yeah.
So they're the latest craze.
And how come they're the latest craze? Is it because people want to make sure they're done, or is it just fun doing it, or are they tastier?
Tastier because the crust gives the flavour. Quick, speed.
True. Okay.
And we sell the Wagyu burgers, which is from County Cork. And that's what I recommend.
So talk to us about the Wagyu burgers, because there's a lot of interest in that space there, and you've a particular relationship there, and you seem to have the brand and the name for it. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's a group of lads down in County Cork, Macroom. They call themselves the West Cork Wagyu Company. So a group of farmers came together. They want to do something different, and they start producing what is known as the Irish Wagyu X, which is a crossbreed. It's not the full breed that you'd associate in Japan. So it's the Irish version. It's Angus and the Wagyu breeds mixed together. But it's an absolutely beautiful piece of beef.
And is that a little bit more expensive, Barry?
It would be a little bit more expensive, yeah.
And what way does it differ in terms of the traditional type of beef?
As regards in
Taste.
price-wise, taste-wise, definitely because the Wagyu has this kind of, and it's like a magical fat. That's how I describe it. So the fat just enhances the flavour. The meat is very, very tender, but the actual flavour from the marbling is quite different to your Irish, say, Angus beef.
Right, okay, interesting. And great to see that kind of innovation happening in Ireland, isn't it? Okay, so right now we're just going to take a quick break to hear from some of our members.
Guaranteed Irish members continue to sustain jobs and communities across Ireland, like Emerald Park. Enjoy treasures big and small this summer for a season of fun, from the Cuchulainn Coaster and Viking Voyage to the Dino Dash and Zoo and everything in between. Treasure awaits for the whole family at Emerald Park this summer. Pre-book now at emeraldpark.ie and save up to 20% off. Guaranteed Irish, altogether better.
So, you are very active on, Kerrigan's Butchers are very active on social media, and you use a lot of ambassadors, and you can throw out a few names there in a moment. But how do you find that in terms of reaching your audience, and how important is the influencer marketing for your business?
Yeah, I think it's very important to find the right influencer for us. So we have worked with numerous influencers over the years. Some worked out really well for us, and some didn't. But it's finding that something that's going to be authentic to your suppose to your kind of brand, your mission statement, and all we want to do is educate people about cooking. So, you know, these people have a massive audience, and if you can find the right influencer that enjoy your brand and not just there for, I suppose, picking up, you know, their commission or their money.
That's right. Yeah, of course. Well, it's all business. Yeah,
it's all business. But if you're lucky enough to find someone that actually believes in your brand and is more authentic, I was very lucky to meet him. A super, now she's a good friend of mine, Siobhan O'Hagan. She was my first influencer back in 2016. I think we started working
early
together.
days for influencer marketing, really, in Ireland, wasn't it?
And well, both myself and Siobhan we didn't know it was influencer marketing back then.
Right.
We were just kind of talking about food. She was a personal trainer.
Yeah.
She worked in the gym I was going to.
Right.
And she was also writing a blog about the time about food and fitness. So
yeah,
it was just it's good timing.
Yeah, brilliant. And of course, you're very involved in Wellfest for the last number of years now. How did this year go, and how successful is that in terms of positioning your brand?
I suppose like any business, you're always looking for new kind of revenue streams, and what way can you obviously grow your brand, get your name more out there. Hopefully turn a profit is what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
yes.
You're entitled to do that, running a business.
So Wellfest, we started Wellfest back in 2018.
Right.
I hired a food truck, and it was like, I couldn't believe how successful it was. Even though I had to hire a food truck, I didn't know what I was doing, and you know, still was successful because people knew the brand, and it was just a really good fit for our Foods for Fitness collection.
Yeah. It's really good. It makes you really relevant when you turn up at that target audience, doesn't it? It makes them want to come back again and buy more.
Yeah, and then we switched from having like a rented food truck to I actually sat down and go, this actually could be a business. So now we have a catering side of the business where we do the likes of festivals, we do private parties, we do weddings day too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There you go.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so again, it's just like from that one time trying Wellfest, that sparked an idea going, actually this could be something else that we could add to our revenue stream.
Brilliant. And is that post-COVID growing and thriving still?
Yeah, there's plenty of interest in it. I think a lot of people who are having a party, maybe they might want the hassle or the, you know, hosting a party is a lot, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
A lot between your shopping, your cooking, your hosting, where you could hire somebody like us just to come in. We have a portable barbecue, and we can cook basically anything you want.
And do you stay for the duration of the serving of the meal then?
Yes, we bring chefs, we bring servers, and we provide entertainment.
I love it. All in one go. Barry, there's no stopping your talents and the reach you're going to have. In terms of cool box solutions then, you use them for your packaging. Tell us what motivated you to do this, and why sustainable and ethical companies like this are so important for your company.
Yeah, I suppose we're on a bit of a mission ourselves to become as sustainable as possible. And we're working with our LEO or
local enterprise office.
Yeah, and we're doing a kind of we're doing a project on how we can actually how we can measure our carbon footprint.
Brilliant.
Now it's a big project, obviously.
It's a big project.
Yeah, but one of them obviously is around packaging. So we're trying to go all our packaging. We're getting there slowly. It's definitely going to take us a while to get there. We're slowly getting there, and one of the things we had to eliminate was we have boxes that we were sent out for home delivery. They were called EPS boxes.
Right.
Okay, but it was a 2 or 3 step process before they could get recycled. So it had to go into the general bin for people. So we decided that we wanted something to go into the green bin.
Okay.
So we worked with unfortunately we had to go, we looked at all the Irish kind of options, and most of them were saying, no, I'm sorry, you're too small.
Okay. So you had to source otherwise.
We had to source them. Then we found a company over in Scotland that are willing to work with us, and it's been great so far.
Great. Okay, so there's an opportunity for an Irish packaging company.
Yeah, maybe the more, I just tend sometimes these big companies in Ireland, they don't have an offering for SMEs like ourselves.
Okay, well, let's put the call out there and the challenge, Barry.
Please do,
Through Guaranteed Irish from Kerrigan Butchers. Let's see if you can offer sustainable packaging for delivery for all butchers nationwide. And there's an opportunity there for the right company. And finally, Barry, give the listeners your web address so they can order online from you. as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's simply www.kerrigans.ie, and our social media handles is Kerrigans_IRL. We're fairly active on Instagram, and that's where you kind of get to know more about Kerrigans.
I really don't know what to say to you. Between what started as a butchery, really, you've gone into fitness foods, festivals, home catering. You have numerous shops around the country, and now home delivery online service. You're a powerhouse of energy, and I wish you every success. And thank you very much for joining us today, Barry.
It was a pleasure, Brady, as always. Thank you very much.
If you want to learn more about Kerrigan's products, we will leave a link to their website in the show notes. Thank you, as always, for listening, and don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you are listening from.
The Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, sponsored by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support. It's what we do.